Hello, welcome to this week's Express class. This week we're going to really push the strength today, so we're going to try some new stuff. It's going to be quite difficult, but we're going to take decent breaks between each exercise, so it won't be as quick as usual, but we're going to try some challenging stuff. We're going to do kind of similar exercises, but we're going to do them in our boat pose position to really challenge the abs and our core. So we'll get started. We'll change the warm-up slightly this week. We're going to come onto our hands and knees, and we're going to stretch out the back to start. So the first thing I want you to do is to sit back onto the heels, bring your knees together, so don't have them too far apart, and then bring the chest down towards the mat and stretch the fingertips as far down the mat as you can. So we're getting a stretch into the low back. You can see it rounding here. And as you reach the hands down, you should feel a stretch into the lats and the rotator cuff muscles along here. And then keep trying to crawl the fingers forward without bringing the hips up away from the heels. Good. And then we're going to come down onto the mat. We're going to drop the hips down, arms extended, and arching our back as much as we can. As we do this, don't look up towards the ceiling. Keep the shoulder blades pinched down and keep your chin tucked in. So keeping the back of the neck nice and long the whole time. Good, and then come down onto the mat, and then we'll turn over onto our back. So head onto our block, imprint the spine, hands by the side, bring the legs to tabletop, and tap the toes off the mat one at a time. Keeping the imprint, shoulders relaxed, and chin tucked in. Nice soft taps of the toes. So when the toes touch the mat, you're not helping to support the pelvis and the abs. The abs are doing all the work to create a stable foundation for the legs to move off. Good, and focus on the imprint, rib cages down, and then the 2 feet together. Good, keeping that back flat and shoulders relaxed. And one last one. And then bring the feet down onto the mat. We're going to straighten the legs down onto the mat next. We're going to bring the hands back behind the head, and we're going to start with a few roll-ups. So arms forward, chin to the chest, rolling up into sitting up nice and tall, chest is forward at the end. I'm going to move back a little bit, and then control down onto the mat. We're going to go for 10. And forward. Chest nice and tall at the end, and rolling back down. 3. If you want to make this harder, you can reach up to the ceiling. 4. And back down. 5. I'm going to be nice, I'm going to reach in front because I know what's coming. There's going to be a few hard exercises as we go into this. 6. We're over halfway, nice and controlled on the way back down to the mat. 7. Chest forward at the end. 3 more. 8. Last 2. 9. Controlled on the way down, slow it down. And the last one. 10. Up nice and tall. Roll back down onto the mat. And then rest down. Bend the knees, feet onto the mat. And we're going to go for a set of hundreds next. So hands by the side, imprint the spine. We're going to go for 3 sets. So we're going to be nice, we're going to start with the feet on the mat. Knees and ankles together, hands by the side. Tuck the chin in, spine is imprinted. Roll the head and shoulders up and beat the hands. 3, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 4, 5 and in, 2, 4, 5 and out, 2, 4, 5 and in, 2, 4, 5 and out, 2, 4, 5 and in, 2, 4, 5 and out, 2, 5 and in, 2, 4, 5 and out, 2, 4, 5. Keep the shoulder blades back. Out, 2, 4, 5 in, 2, 4, 5 out, 2, 3, 4, 5 in, 2, 4, 5 out, 2, 4, 5, last 2, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, last breath in, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest the head down, and then rest down. Good, next one, we're going to have the legs in tabletop, so we're going to give it a rest between each one, because these are going to be quite hard today. We're going to bring the legs into tabletop, we're going to go for another 700s, we'll have a rest again, and then we're going to straighten the legs to the ceiling. So, imprint the spine, hands by the side again, drop the shoulders back and away from the ears, bring the legs to tabletop, tuck the chin in, chin to the chest, head and shoulders up, and beat the hands. 2, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 4, 5, and out, 2, 4, 5, and in, 2, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, last 3 breaths in, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, last 2 in, roll the chest up, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, last breath in, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, roll the head down, and bring the feet down onto the mat. Stretch the hamstrings before you do the next one, so 2 hands back behind the right leg, straighten the right leg to the ceiling, and hug the thigh into the chest. So if we stretch out the hamstrings to make it a little bit easier before we come into the next exercise, first to straighten the legs up. It'll take a little bit of pressure off the core. The looser your hamstrings are for any of these exercises with the legs in the air, the easier the exercise become. Because you can straighten the legs more, you can bring the centre of gravity closer to your core, and it makes it a lot easier. Centre of gravity of the legs, the weight of the legs feel a lot lighter then. And switch legs. Left leg straight to the ceiling. Good. When you're doing this, make sure the knee is bent. If you straighten the leg, the back will arch and the muscles can get tight. If you keep the knee bent, you keep the spine in an imprinted position, and it makes it easier, more comfortable to stretch out the left leg as well. Good. And bend the knee, bring the feet down. We're going to imprint the spine, hands by the side, legs to tabletop, straighten the legs to the ceiling, chin to the chest, head and shoulders up again, beat the hands, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 4, 5, and in, 2, 4, 5, and out, 2, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 4, 5, and in, 2, 4, 5, and out, 2, 4, 5, and in, 2, 4, 5, and out, 2, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 4, 5, in, 2, 4, 5, out, 2, 4, 5, 3 more breaths, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, last breath in, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, rest the head, bend the knees, and then bring the feet down. Again, have a little rest. The next exercise, we're going to roll up into boat pose, so up into our teaser position, where the knees and hips bent to 90 degrees. For the next exercise, we bring the legs back up into tabletop, we bring the hands back behind the head, and we're going to roll up into boat pose, so arms forward, chin to the chest, rolling up and chest comes forward at the end, and then back down onto the mat. So we're going to go for 10 of these again, 2, and back down, 3, and down. As you roll back down, keep the knees and hips at 90 degrees. 4, 5, and at the top, straighten your back. 6, pinch the shoulder blades together. 7, 3 more. 8, last 2, controlled on the way down. 9, controlled. And the last one, rolling up, chest comes forward, and then roll back down onto the mat, hands back behind the head, and bring the feet down for the rest again. For the next one, we're going to roll up into boat pose. We're going to keep ourselves in boat pose. So we're going to keep sitting on the back of the heels, and we're going to run through 4 different exercises. So the ones we do lying on our back, where we have the spine imprinted, opposite hand to opposite leg, like this. We're going to have the knees in and out. We're going to have our flutter kicks, and our double leg lowers. But we're going to do all of these in boat pose. We'll take a break between each one, so we're not going to run through them all in a row, but we're going to do 10 reps of each exercise. So we're going to start by coming up into boat pose again. So imprint the spine, hands back behind the head, legs to tabletop, arms forward, chin to the chest, onto the back of the hips. We're going to bring the right hand to the outside of the right ankle, left hand to the inside of the right knee, straighten the left leg, and switch. Keep the spine as straight as you can. So this becomes easy if you roll the spine, but straighten it as much as you can and switch from leg to leg. It's all about holding yourself in boat pose. We're starting to get the thighs working quite well here. Good. Last one, and then bend the knees, roll back down onto the mat, and then rest the legs down. The next exercise we're going to do, we're going to come back up into boat pose. We're going to extend both knees, and we're going to do little flutter kicks in opposite directions. Again, the secret to making this exercise harder is push those ribs forward, try to straighten the spine out as much as you can. So head resting onto the block, imprint the spine again, hands back behind the head, legs come into tabletop, arms forward, chin to the chest, onto the back of the hips again, extend the two legs, and little flutter kicks. 1, 2, keep the back straight, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend the knees, roll back down onto the mat, and then bring the legs down. Good. For those exercises when we're not using the upper body, keep the arms parallel to the floor the whole time. Don't let them dip down, and keep the shoulder blades pinched back again. Good. Let me catch my breath for a second. Next exercise, we're going to go back into boat pose. This time we're going to have the hands to the side of the head, and we're going to bring the elbows in towards the knees. We're going to bring the elbows apart, and we're going to extend the knees. So the hips will stay at 90 degrees the whole time. So all we're going to do is bend and straighten the knees, and we're going to bring the elbows in and out while keeping the fingertips just above the ears. So imprint the spine again, hands back behind the head, legs to tabletop, we'll roll back a bit into boat pose, hands to the side of the head just above the ears, elbows into the knees, extend the knees, elbows apart, and bend. 2, keep the back as straight as you can. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bend the knees, roll back down, and then rest the feet down. The last one we're going to do, we're going to come back to boat pose, push those ribs forward so you don't feel any pain in your back. We're going to come back to boat pose, we're going to extend the two knees at the same time, we're going to lower the heels to the mat, and then bend the knees. Extend, lower, and bend. So hands back behind the head again, spine is imprinted, legs come into tabletop, arms forward, chin to the chest, onto the back of the hips, keep the arms parallel to the floor, extend the knees, lower and bend. Extend, lower and bend. Keep pushing that chest forward, extend, lower, bend. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one last one, 10, and then roll back down onto your back, and then rest the feet down. Good, so it's hard work for the core there to keep that balance the whole time, so you start to feel some of the back muscles working. We're not trying to minimise that, we want to get as much as the core at the front doing as much work as we can. We're going to turn onto our side next. I'll do a few hard ones then for the glutes. So we're going to come up onto the elbow, elbow just below the shoulder and slightly closer towards the hips. Straight line down on the back of the mat. If you want to make this easy, bend the knees. If you want to challenge it, keep the legs straight. Pinch the shoulder blades back and lift the hips up and lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one, 10, and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the hips up, lift the top leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest the hips back down. I'm going to turn over onto the other side. After this, we're going to stretch out the hips. So again, back lined up at the back of the mat. Feet all the way down along the back of the mat. If you want to bend the knees, you can come from the knees bent. If you want to straighten the legs, we're going to run through the same series on this side. So elbow below the shoulder, but slightly closer to the hips. Pinch the shoulder blades back. Top hand onto the hips or on the mat. Lift the hips for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the top leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And rest down. I'm falling backwards. Turn over onto your back. Rest the head onto the block. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Right hand comes between the legs. Left hand around the side of the legs. Interlink the fingers and hug that left thigh into the chest. So you feel a good stretch into the back of the right hip. Keep the neck long and the head resting onto the mat. And drop the shoulders back, especially that right one as it reaches across the body. It will want to round. So really pull that right shoulder back down into the mat. And then switch sides. Left ankle over the right knee, left hand between the legs, right hand around the outside of the legs. Hug the right thigh to the chest. Neck is long, chin is tucked in, and left shoulders drop back into the mat. And you should feel a good stretch on the back of the left hip and down the thigh, kind of the outside to the back of the thigh, that region there. And just try to relax as much as you can. The more you relax, the more the muscles relax, and the more of a stretch you'll get. And then bring the feet down onto the mat. And we'll finish with that. That's this week's Express class. I hope you enjoyed it. A little bit different the exercises, a bit tougher. We'll see you again next week and we'll build on it. Bye bye.